This video was recorded during my trip to Khonoma Bird Sanctuary in Nagaland in 2023. When I was going for the trip, I was looking for some YouTube videos which would help me to plan for the trip better. I did find a few videos. Some of them were focused on entire Nagaland, covering Khonoma, but not as deep as we wanted. What I was looking for was what is the time to go, what are the type of birds to expect, how is the terrain, what kind of preparation you need to do. There are few that I really found helpful, but it didn't put a tick mark on everything I was looking for. So I felt, why don't I create a video so that in future if somebody is planning a trip there, they can get the information that I was looking for. We took a flight to Dimapur, and from Dimapur we took a car to reach Khonoma. The drive from Dimapur airport to Khonoma Bird Sanctuary, if you look into the Google Maps, will show an hour and a half and around 80 kilometers. But make no mistake, for us it took 2.5 hours because there will be some road construction. At least it happened with us, and that would delay you. So I suggest that stay on a safer side, plan for 2.5 hours to 3 hours, so that in case you are late due to traffic congestion or a road construction or anything, you don't miss out the journey. Especially when you are coming back from Khonoma to Dimapur, this is an extremely important thing. One interesting thing I found out was that after we left Dimapur airport until the point we reached Khonoma, we did not see a single bird. You make your own interpretations of why, but I didn't see a single one. In fact, my co-birders who are traveling with me, they kind of almost give me a bet that I won't. So I was looking for a bird outside. No crow, no myna, no sparrow, nothing. I saw that 2.5 hours drive. Once the car entered Khonoma, suddenly the world changed, and I started hearing the birds chirping and started seeing some of the birds flying around and all. So Khonoma is a bird sanctuary where birds are protected. Outside it's not, and probably that might play a factor. Our guide was Roychoudhury. I hope I am pronouncing his name properly. Apologies if I am not. You'll find a link of a video of his interview that I took during our stay, and that's a very informative video. I will request you to go through that because that would help you plan better. You'll get to know a lot, not just about Khonoma, outside as well. And as he suggested, the best time to go to Khonoma is in February, March. We went in March, probably the best week. Unfortunately, during our stay, there's a rainstorm came in because of a depression caused in Bay of Bengal, and that led to washout of almost 3 sessions. But still, whatever the time left, we did get to see a lot of birds. A lot of people come to Nagaland during October, which is the time for Amur falcon migration. Amur falcon, people go to a different place, which is almost like 3 hours from Khonoma, but that's not the best place for Khonoma. So if you are planning to come to Khonoma, I think you should be planning a trip in February, March. During a trip, we didn't find too much of a low temperature. The night was a little chilly, so we needed a blanket, which was provided in the stay we are having. During the day, a light jacket was good enough. Since it was raining, naturally it was slightly colder than usual. I suggest you have maybe a half sleeve or maybe a vest inside and a light jacket. That should be good for you in February, March timeline. In Khonoma, you won't find a lot of things that you might look for, the foodstuffs and all. There is a store, but that contains very little of the grocery. So if you're planning to buy chips or other kind of snacks, I'd suggest that you buy that in Dimapur before you leave the city. After leaving the airport, it will take some time for you to go through the city. So when you are going through the city, take a stop and buy all the groceries or stationaries or a food stuff, and do not depend on Khonoma. As I said, there is a store, but the choices are very limited. One important thing is, please bring a very good soled shoe, because for Naga Rain Babrer, you have to climb a hill. It's a terrain actually, very rough, slippery, loose gravels, and I'll show the picture shortly. And for that, you would definitely be needing a very good shoe with an ankle support. I personally felt a bit risky. We took a lot of cautions. Our life was a little bit harder because of the rain that was going on. I believe if it is dry, it will not be as slippery as we found it out. Nevertheless, it's a loose gravel, steep climb. So please bring a good shoe which has your ankle support. I did not find any medicine shop in the place I was staying. There would definitely be, because people are there, they will need their medical support. So typically, whenever you go to remote places, I think you should be all carrying our medicines for fever, digestion, allergy and whatnot. And if you're taking any specific medication, so please make sure that you carry it from the place of your residence. One thing you to note when you come to Khonoma or any place in Nagaland, the birds are very shy and they will fly away, run away once they see human. So be very prepared. Once you encounter a bird, you might only get a few seconds before they will vanish. That's happened with us all the time. Now we could follow in some cases, take pictures, in some cases we did not. So your response time is very crucial. So travel light, that way when you are going after the bird, I'm not too certain, except in a few situations where a tripod and things will help. Some places, yes, it will. Like for example, if the bird is on the far, then of course you can wait from the road, and that time tripod will actually help. But when you are walking down the street or walking through a trail, I don't think it will give you a time to give a tripod. It will see and go away. So monopod is okay, which is what I carried, but I'd rather suggest that you go with the free flow if you can. Light should be good is what I was told. However, when you go for a mountain bamboo partridge, it's typically seen in the early morning, very early morning. So that time the light will be dim. I took the picture in 12,800 ISO. One very important thing for mountain bamboo partridge is that we found it on the road as our car was going. So once you see the bird, don't spend any time to get down and take a picture. If you can get first take a record shot. It's a shy bird, you may not see it again. Take a record shot, and then if you can put your camera outside from the car and can take it, that would be great. Otherwise, you might miss it. Okay, front seat is good because you can take it with a windshield, but you can get it from the back seat as well by putting your camera outside. It's extremely important you leave early, because if you are the first car, your chances of seeing it on the road is much higher, because once a car goes through that road, they might just get into the bush. So try to leave as early as possible. We saw while we were passing through a village, but you never know. When you're going for Nagaland Babla, please note that they will park the car on a road and then you have to climb. This entire going up and down, for us it took like close to 2.5 hours. It could take 3. It depends on how much time you need to spend in searching for the bird. So what I suggest is that definitely carry in a backpack with water and some light snacks, because you might feel hungry in the middle and there will not be any options. But definitely you carry water. So I'll be giving you a link to my trip report where you can see all the birds that I've seen and the lifers. As you can see in the screen, it was overall a good trip. I will still go back there again because I need to improve some of the pictures that I was not very happy with. We got record shots but need to improve, and my camera also malfunctioned in the middle, that added to the trouble. Khonoma has some beautiful landscapes while you are going for birds, but please do not miss the opportunity to record or take pictures of those landscape shots, especially the way they do the farming, like in the steppes. So that looks really beautiful. So carry, I would say, a 50 mm or maybe a 16 to 30 mm or whatever the landscape lens that you have. Even a standard 18 to 55 should be good enough. And take the pictures of the Khonoma village, its landscape, and it's a beautiful place from the landscape perspective as well. At night, I assume you will see good stars. Since it was cloudy, you could not. So if you are an astrophotographer, if you're going on a march, you might see the early Milky Way coming up. Late March would be better. April would be even fantastic. So if you plan to take that, go there. There is a hill right across the village which might guard a little bit, but it also gives some fantastic foregrounds for you. So find out the place, do your planning. If you're an astrophotographer, give it a shot during your stay, because while there are lights in the village, but it's not anywhere close to what you see in the city. I would probably call it as a bottle 4 place from light pollution perspective. When you are going through the village, you might see the branches of certain trees are chopped off. That's the way they do I would call it as a harvesting of wood. They retain the main tree and it grows back the branch, and when they again cut it, I'm told maybe if they cut it every like 20 years or so or 15 years or so, that way the forest stays there Having the tree means it is holding on to the soil, which is good from soil erosion perspective. Yet they get their wood that is needed for their living purposes. I'm told Nagaland is a dry place. Especially in Khonoma nearby, you will not find any liquor shop. If you are someone who likes liquor, you need to think through and keep that in mind. Overall, my trip was very good in spite of the fact that we lost 3 sessions due to rain. The places where we stayed was good and they really took care of us. The food also I liked, a different variety of it. You won't find it in other places. The rice that we ate there was fantastic. Probably the best, the sweetest rice that I have ever had in any part of India. I wanted to buy that, but unfortunately they ran out of stock that point in time. One very important thing that I must tell at this point is, unlike in many other birding hotspot where we directly contact a bird guide and the guide arranges the stay and the entire trip along with the car, here you cannot go that way. In Khonoma there is a common agency whom you need to contact. The agency will have listed bird guides and by turn you will be assigned a guide. It's followed in many other places like in Sundarbans as well and other national parks. Now if you want to go with a particular guide, you can do that if the guide is available by telling the agency that you are ready to pay to the listed guide and you will also pay for this additional guide. That option exists is what I understand. Similarly, they will also assign a place to stay. You cannot choose that I'm going to stay in this particular homestay. That also comes by a turn, but I don't think that's a very important thing. Pretty much most of the stays will be decent. In the Khonoma village, they set an example by engaging the villagers, the locals in conservation as well as in a bird safety. And what I understood while I was there in Khonoma was that the money we pay, a part of that goes into a fund which helps with the locals. The people of Khonoma village, they take a lot of care for the birds there, and that's the reason the birds have prospered in that particular area. One final note would be that you should be planning for 4 days like we did, in which 2 half days will go in commute to and fro to reach Khonoma and from Khonoma going back to Dimapur airport. So if you spend 4 full days, you will essentially get 3 days of birding. If your trip is during October or November, that time you can also add Amur falcon migration along with it, but otherwise there is nothing close by, so pretty much I think you need to go to Khonoma and come back. There is nothing else that you can add to it as a part of this trip. That's pretty much it is. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. If you liked it, do subscribe. I plan to come back with more videos like that. I've traveled to all parts of India. I plan to share those videos in due course, maybe once in every alternate week, and hopefully these videos and the pictures will help you plan your trip better. Thank you.